Okay, so now that I've sorted through my inventory off screen and taken care of everything related to that, I wanted to have Fel check out whatever this arm is, because I identified it, and it looks like it was mine. So I don't remember if I read this out, but just as a reminder, upon closer inspection, you know for a fact that this arm is yours. How long it has been lying around waiting for you is anyone's guess. You can't explain why, but you feel like you should have this arm take this arm to a tattoo artist and have it examined. The tattoos might tell something of what happened to your previous incarnation when this arm was still attached to him. So that's what we're gonna do. And music's a little loud for me. I hope that doesn't show up. Actually, you know what? I want to have Dak'kon translate because I'm interested to see his perspective. So, ask him if he did the tattoos on this dismembered arm I found. Fel examines it for a moment, tracing the patterns with his finger. He then looks up and a series of rebuses form, hazy at first, then comes sharply into focus. The arm is yours. The tattoos are mine. One tattoo speaks of a time when your path was shared by 4 others. What did he say, Dak'kon? Dak'kon studies the symbols, but he remains silent. Dak'kon, what is he saying? The arm is yours. The tattoos are his. Did he say anything more than that?
Updated my journal.
Dak'kon is silent for a moment, and suddenly, instinctively, you know Dak'kon is lying to you. He continues on with dead-level tone. The rest of the symbols are not known to me. Why are you lying to me? Dak'kon falls silent again. He does not turn to look at you. He seems to be staring at something leagues away. The symbols. There is no good in knowing the answer to what you ask. Since when has not knowing the truth of something ever really helped anyone, Dak'kon? The counselor who counsels ignorance betrays his station.
Updated my journal.
There's truth in your words. The truth should be known to me. Dak'kon is silent for a moment. Then he turns to you, his eyes hardened. The symbols speak of 4 you have traveled with in the past. Go on. What 4 are these? The symbols swirl before you and you piece them together. One unloved who loves one who does not love. One who does not see what others see and sees what others do not. One who is familiar and bound with duty. One who is a slave and his chains are words. As you finish translating, the 4 strings seem to form themselves into links and they merge into a chain. The chain bends until it is a symbol you feel you recognize. One who loves one who does not love. Is that referring to Dayanara? Possibly. One does not see what others see and sees what others do not. That could be Ignis, actually. Because he's someone that... Because there was something written on whatever it was that... On the tattoo I can get from this guy for Ignis that he sees things in a very different light. One who is familiar and bound with duty, that could be referring to either Morty, might be Dak'kon perhaps. One who is a slave and his chains are words. I'm not entirely Wait. Could it be referring to one of the species that is Aelwyn or Namel? Perhaps. Dak'kon isn't even looking at the symbols. The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other was a blind man who saw things no mortal eye could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound. And the last was a slave. Why did you not want to tell me this? The 4 are bound with a symbol that is known to me. What symbol? The symbol sharpens, gaining edges that are almost painful to your eye. It is Torment. It is that which draws all tormented souls to you. Fel nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. The flesh knows it suffers even when the mind is forgotten, and so you wear the rune always. The flesh knows it suffers even when the mind has forgotten. The symbol is Torment. He says that you have always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers, even when the mind does not. I see. Can you tell me anything more about the 4 on the tattoo? Dak'kon is silent again. I will not speak of it here. Ask when what we will speak of will only be for the ears of those that walk with you. Very well. Does Fel say anything about the other tattoos on the arm? Fel examines the arm again, tracing the other faded tattoos upon its surface. As he does, they each appear as a symbol above his head. Hazy at first, then coming into focus sharply. He turns to face you. Once forgotten, now remembered. You may wear them again if you wish. What did he say, Dak'kon? He says that the arms wears forgotten tattoos. He has remembered them now. They are yours if you want them. Okay. I wonder what they are, if anything. It's the skull. Hard to say what it is, given the circumstances. Lost Incarnation, what's that? Experience points when invoked, increased regeneration when worn. This tattoo came from the severed arm you found on the dismembered crypt. Apparently, this tattoo tells of the experience of one of your past incarnations. The symbols and tales are unfamiliar to you, but it seems to tell of a time when you were lost and abandoned on the streets of the Hive, barely able to make a living robbing and stealing from others you encountered. The crimes the Lost Incarnation committed eventually drove him to seek shelter in the Weeping Stone Catacomb, where he survived for almost a year. When worn, the tattoo seems to bring out a survival instinct in you, forcing your body to react to any danger you take and heal wounds faster. If you choose to tap into the tattoo's power, some of the memories of hiding beneath Sigil will return to you, giving you the benefit of the previous incarnation's experience. It can only do this once, but even after the tattoo is invoked, the increased regeneration rate will remain. Alright, definitely taking that then. Are there any others? Okay, so this seems to probably be similar to that. This tattoo came from the severed arm you found in the dismembered crypt. Apparently this tattoo tells of the experience of one of your past incarnations. The symbols and tales are unfamiliar to you, but it seems to tell of a time when you were seeking shelter beneath the catacombs and were forced to live as a shadow mite, hiding from detection by the Sigil authorities and trying to conceal yourself from the more dangerous inhabitants of the Weeping Stone Catacombs. When worn, the tattoo makes concealing yourself easier. It allows you to shape the shadows around you like a cloak. This makes it harder for your enemies to hurt you when they see you, and harder for you to find when you don't wish to be seen. It lends you a sinister appearance, however, which will cause many to shun you. If you choose to tap into the tattoo's power, some of the memories of hiding beneath Sigil will return to you, giving you the benefit of the previous incarnation's experience. It can only do this once, but even after the tattoo is invoked, the ability to shape shadows around you will remain. Okay, but I'm assuming yeah, I had a feeling I'd need to switch to a thief, so I might want to talk to Anna about doing that, if only temporarily. So, okay, another one. Apparently this tattoo tells of the experience of one of your past incarnations. The symbols and tales are unfamiliar to you, but it seems to tell of a time when the catacombs beneath Sigil's streets were your second home. It tells of you traveling down into the tombs, living in darkness, and coming to learn the nature of why the stones beneath Sigil weep. When worn, the tattoo makes you more resilient to cold and hardens your body, giving your skin the texture and strength of the Weeping Stone walls. In so doing, however, it also gives you a hungry, gaunt look, as if you are starving. Okay, so, and then that again. And what's the last one? Silent coins. Okay, another one. Apparently this tattoo tells of the experience of one of your past incarnations. The symbols and tales are unfamiliar to you, but it seems to tell of a time when you lived as a thief on Sigil streets, before being driven down into the catacombs because of your thieving nature. Okay, so let's try and do this. So what did that do exactly? Is it gonna tell me what that did?
Right.
I mean, I could go back through that song and dance because I'm not sure entirely what it told me. What, do I have to go back to my load and see? Because it's not telling me. What, does it just give me experience? Okay, I'm gonna quick save real quick just in case there really isn't anything and take care of this. Okay, so did it really help me, or maybe I need to use it at a specific point? I'll keep a backup save. Well, okay, so I quick saved before hitting that, so I'm gonna go to that quick save, and I'm gonna do... So, I'm gonna create a backup save here, just in case. So now that I know that, let's talk to Dak'kon about whatever he didn't want to say.
What is your will?
There are things I would know, Dak'kon. When Fel was describing the tattoo on my arm, you said you knew the symbols. The symbols speak of four you have traveled with in the past. What four are these?
Updated my journal.
Okay. And which one of them was you, Dak'kon? Were you the slave? Dak'kon is silent for a moment, and the surface of his blade swims as if in turmoil. Know that this one owed you a service. In owing this to you, it became as slavery. How did this come to be? Know the tale is long. The matter lives between me and the one that was once you. Know that if you hear it, know it shall be a long tale. I would hear it. Upon the rolling plain of limbo, the peoples shape cities from the chaos with their thoughts. Know that there is no place for a divided mind. Dak'kon raises the blade from his shoulder and holds it before him. As he stares at it, it sharpens until it is almost as thin as a piece of paper. Go on. A divided mind is an unfocused mind. A divided mind fractures walls and weakens stones. As Dak'kon speaks, the edges of the blade corrode slightly, the metal misting and melting along the edges. Many divided minds may destroy a city. I understand. Go on. Long have I known the words of Zerthamon. Through my voice, many have come to know the words of Zerthamon. The Zerth protect the community from all threats, whether to the body or to the mind. They are the guiding stones in the chaos. So it came to pass that I spoke the words of Zerthamon without knowing the words of Zerthamon. It came to pass that I no longer knew myself. So, you doubted your words? No. Dak'kon's voice is edged, and his blade sharpens in response. I knew the words, yet it came into my heart that perhaps others did not know the words of Zerthamon as Zerthamon knew them, and so division formed. As my mind became as two, as my mind became divided, those that looked to me as a guiding stone became divided. Many scores of Githzerai, many hundreds of scores of Githzerai doubted. Skralklor died that day. So those that followed you came to doubt the words as well, and the city was weakened. The enemies of Zerthamon came. Know that their hatred of his words and the people lent their blades strength. Know that they sensed the weakened city, and they brought war with them. Any Githzerai drowned in the chaos and beneath the blades of our enemies. Small beads of metal appear on the surface of the blade, as if it is blistering. No, this happened long ago. What happened to you? As I fell from the walls of Skralklor, know that myself was broken. My blade was missed, my mind divided. I was adrift upon Limbo's seas, and I wished to drown. I died for days, my mind awashed in division, when death finally came to me. It wore your skin, and it had your voice. Me? You ask that I hear you. As Dak'kon says the words, your vision bleeds outwards and a crawling sensation begins to worm its way through the back of your skull. You feel nauseous for a moment, and your vision is suddenly as chaos, smeared, twisted, and you are someplace else, someplace in the past. Everything around you is in turmoil. Your vision is hazy, swirling, dizzying, all at once. There is mist, pockets of fire, islands of mud, stone, and ice-covered rock swimming through the plain like fish, impacting and dissolving, droplets of water arcing through the howling air and lashing your skin like teeth. You choke back your nausea and you steady yourself. This is the plane of limbo. All is chaos. Nothing is stable. You focus on the dying man that lies before you. It is why you have come to this place. Examine the Zerth, see if he still lives. The man is a Githzerai, his body embedded in an earthen pocket that swirls around him. Unconsciously, he has formed a grave from the elements, and though bits of fire and water lick at his face, he does not respond. His hands are ashen, his coal black eyes focusing on nothing. His emaciated frame speaks of starvation, but you know it is the least of his wounds. It is faith that dealt him the mortal blow. In his limp left hand is a twisted mass of metal, its surface having melted around his hand like a gauntlet. As you watch, it steams and hisses like a diseased snake. The Gitsurai does not seem to be aware of it, but it is that weapon that has brought you here. Dak'kon, Zerth of Skraklor Drowning, last wielder of the Karak Blade. Know that I have come to you with the words of Zerthamon, carved not in chaos but in stone, carved by the will in an unbroken circle. At the words Zerthamon, Dak'kon's eyes roll in their sockets, and they attempt to focus upon you. With effort, he cracks his mouth to speak, but only a dry hiss emerges. You bring forth the stone from your pack and hold it before him so he can see. Know the words of Zerthamon inscribed upon this stone are true, and know that your divided mind need be divided no longer. All you must do is take this stone, and you shall know yourself again. Dak'kon's eyes flicker over the unbroken circle of Zerthamon, and for a moment you think he might be too close to death to recognize it. Then the right hand twitches and he pulls it slowly from its earthen prison. The clumps of earth streaming off it become water in Limbo's chaotic winds. His skeletal hands clutch the stone like a drowning man, and his eyes flash. Know that I have saved your life, Dak'kon, Zerth of Skraklor.
Updated my journal.
Dak'kon's eyes turn from the stone and flicker over you, and he hisses again, too dry for a moment to muster the words. He blinks, slowly, then speaks, his voice barely above a whisper, but the words are what you wanted to hear. My life is yours, until yours is no more. Dak'kon is silent. I heard your words. The chaos in my mind became still. I knew myself again. So you got the circle from me?
Updated my journal.
Yes. In knowing its words, I knew myself. Very well. Tell me about that other me, the incarnation you knew. What was he like? Dak'kon's gaze travels through you, and he falls silent. Dak'kon?
Updated my journal.
Know that he was different. Know that the differences were not marked on the skin, nor in the way of the weapon, nor in the attire that cloaked him. Know that he was different in the way of thought, and the means he acted upon his thoughts. His will became substance. Know that he saw others and did not see them. He knew only how they could serve him. His heart was treacherous, and it was cold, and never did its coldness burn him. Did it ever touch you, Dak'kon? Did he betray you? Dak'kon's blade begins bleeding into a dull, flat black, and you watch his edges, like teeth, begin sprouting from the edge of the blade. His face clenches, and he speaks through its teeth. It is not my will you know me. It is not my will you know of this. Tell me, Dak'kon, did he ever betray you? I surrendered my word to him. I surrendered myself. What are you talking about?
Updated my journal.
The people do not allow themselves to be enslaved to another in deed or chains. If we find ourselves in such a cage, we act to free ourselves, even if it means we must endure another cage for a time. You performed a great service for me. In so doing, you enslaved me. I acted to free myself. Know that I surrendered my word and myself to act in your name until your death. But I can't die. That was not known to this one. I surrendered my word to him. I surrendered myself. Know that there is now nothing left that I may surrender except my life. Know now that I follow you only so I might die. Dak'kon, it doesn't have to be this way. I can release you. I no longer wish you to be a slave. Consider the debt paid. No. Dak'kon's forehead creases in pain, and his eyes stare through you. It is not your word that carries the weight, and your word will not free me. The word that changed me is mine. The torment is mine. I know in my heart that the chains remain. Words will not free them. Is there any way you can be freed? You must die a final death. Yet your path is not death's path. There is no resolution to this matter. Am I willing to take that vow? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, am I willing to would I sacrifice my own life to try and let go of his torment? I don't know. This seems to fall in line with what Dayanara once said as well. I need to die while I still can. And what was it that the Dustman said? I think his name was Adon. Maybe it was Dahl, but that that any time I cross paths with someone, it would bring them torment. We'll speak of this another time. This matter is not closed. Let's move on. But holy crap, that's heavy. I did not expect to get into something of that nature so quickly. Holy crap. Jeez. That was unexpected. Although I'm kind of surprised that I don't see anything more from that. I should probably give it to someone else since the mind regen's pretty good. Just trying to think of who that would be a good idea
Take off. Keep your mitts off that. Hey, I'm not giving that up. Keep your mitts off it.
I guess I'm not getting any more than that. I'm sorry, I just had to see what happened. Okay, so, now let's take care of the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Or whatever's left of it. Okay, it dumped me in the middle. Okay, so where was that guy I needed to talk to?
Alright.
Over in this direction? This wooden shack is constructed of charred timbers and rotten, termite-infested wood. Alright, here we go. Have you slain Crystal? Not yet. I'm not going to either. His fiery eyes slit and he whispers, "Then you are an enemy." With a blur of motion, he attacks.
Die.
Ignis hears you.
Get him!
Damn it.
I wonder why he's going after Dak'kon.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong. Your path is mine.
I'm gone.
Was that the right call? This is a wooden structure made from burnt shingles and other cast-off roofing material.
Done.
Who exactly is the leader? Oh, there's Crystal. How did Morty get through, anyway? You see a cool, collected woman. Her face is set in hard, determined lines. Her voice is low and firm. I am Crystal, leader of these Razor Angels. You are in our home. What do you want of me? Tell me about yourself. I'm the leader of the Razor Angels. That's really all you need to know. I created them, they follow my commands. Now, what do you want of me? Tell me about the Razor Angels. We came here when bigger gangs took over the trash warrens near Radbigger Square. We got here right about the same time as the Dark Alley Shivs, who've set up Kip on the other side of the alley. They're a bunch of murderous thugs. We're thugs, but we don't kill if we can help it. We just need to make a living, and given our situation, charging a toll's the best way to do it. Sounds rewarding. No, it's not. Only we've got nothing better going for us. We're hive dwellers. Even the scant education I got won't get me out of here. No one wants a hive dweller, so we make sure we're not entirely ignored. Before you go, I need a favor of you. This piece of turf just isn't big enough for us and the Dark Alley Shivs. We've got heart. They've got hate. Kill off their leader, Otten William, and you'll get free passage through the alley from us for the rest of your life. You come through here often enough, and that's a real coin saver. He's already dead. It's done? Rotten Williams is gone? You have my thanks, traveler, and you will never again pay a toll for a passage through the Alley of Dangerous Angles. I have but one more request for you. What is it? There is a dangerous killer, a lone wolf, who goes by the name of Black Rose. He is preying on my people. I ask that you stop him. He's dead too. She hands you a large patched purse. You have my thanks and the thanks of the Razor Angels. We part friends and shall remember you. Sure.
Updated
Farewell.
my journal.
Oh man, hefty amount
Done.
of copper.